I want to talk today about bullying and what that looks like on the physical body as an adult when they suffer the trauma and the stress of bullying in childhood, because our energy stores trauma and stress. We are living physical beings of our own experiences that get trapped in our energy, and over time, that trauma and stress will manifest into illness. So the sacral chakra sits just below the belly button where the intestines are, and like the lower abdomen region, like the sex organs and that whole area. And it resonates with the power, it resonates with the energy of personal power, which is completely robbed from a person when they start to feel bullied, because they have to almost like step back and become more submissive in behaviors in an effort to like not be seen. Because when a person's bullied, I'll tell you, they in energy, when I see them, they literally feel like they're being hunted. They feel like they have a target on their back, and if they pop their head up and they're seen, the bully's going to come in for attack. And a lot of times it's in the home and it's a parent. It's a parent that's bullying them. And what happens is they shift, and I'm talking like the ages of 3 and 4 is as early far back as I can see this. Even though my client's an adult, I can see it in their childhood. And what happens is when they get into school, they've developed that submissive hiding type behavior, which vibrates in more bullies because they can feel it energetically. It's not even about what they physically see, they feel it energetically. So when they get into the school system or into like social environments, they attract the bullies. What happens in early in childhood, I'll see them develop issues with constipation, and they'll have severe stomach issues. They might even have allergies, because when the stomach gets affected, gut health, that affects our immune system. That also affects like allergies. So they might be the kids that become more sickly as they grow into their youth. Girls, their menstrual cycles are all over the place, and their hormones are all over the place because they're in a fight or flight in the sacral chakra, which is the chakra that resonates with the organs with the menstrual cycle. Boys, they'll have issues with wetting the bed. They'll have issues with stomach as well, and the area of their sex organs gets affected. Now, by the time they come to me as an adult, they've been experiencing these physical issues off and on through their whole life, and they are now thinking that's just how they're ingrained. That's how they are, and they think it's normal. Here's the thing, it's not, because the sacral chakra is affected first. It vibrates into the solar plexus chakra, which is behind the stomach. That's the energy of self-confidence, self-love, realizing your self-worth, which that they never even get to see that or establish a relationship with themselves, because at such a young age they were bullied. So they, instead of learning about themselves, they had to spend their time learning about their environment and learning how to read people to stay safe. And then as they developed and became like mature kids, they started with people pleasing behaviors, and they started to put too much of themselves out there in an effort to like receive friendship and receive love. They were trying to like feel safe. So they become people pleasers, and they're like doing more for everybody else, and they're putting themselves out there, which vibrates in toxic people that are going to take advantage of them. So they lack even more significantly in self love, which is also the heart, but it affects the solar plexus because they're lacking so much in self confidence. When our gut health is affected, it affects everything, because now we are holding stress in our stomach. We are holding energy in our chest because we're clenched energetically. We're now feeling like we're being squeezed, which starts to manifest into autoimmune issues. If the person has issues with their throat chakra, where they are literally staying clenched in their voice and they're not speaking their truth, they are not sharing any of their feelings or emotions, and they're staying completely suppressed, that'll develop usually into thyroid issues or Hashimoto's. If they're in a nervous state where they're constantly nervous and feeling like they're walking on pins and needles through their childhood and then even into like youth and adulthood, they'll develop fibromyalgia, and they'll have chronic pain and inflammation, which usually also may start in the gut, but it's all throughout their body. Now, I'm going to put a spiritual twist on this. With people who were bullied, you guys are the old souls. You guys are the people that have lived thousands of lives. You've seen it all, you've done it all. You've come here with so much earthly wisdom that you now are ready to take on these challenges to survive them, so you can break the karmic cycles in your ancestral lineage. So, the family history of illnesses, whatever those illnesses may be, is actually a family history of trauma that comes from the behaviors that created the stress that manifested into that illness, and it gets passed down from generation to generation. You're that old soul, you're that peaceful, silent warrior that's going to heal yourself, and through you healing yourself, people will observe, and you'll be leading by example. It's not your job to heal other people. It's not your job to heal family members that have caused you stress and trauma. It's your job to heal yourself and let them watch. And they're either going to learn from you and they'll start to heal themselves, or they'll self-select out and they'll make space for you, which is both is a win. So focus on yourself. You are a silent warrior. You're here to heal. You're not going to have to live in fight or flight anymore. You've been doing it long enough. Now you're here to live, and you're here to heal, and that'll vibrate down and it'll heal your ancestors.